Hi everyone, welcome to another video of your course, Math 102B, Differential and Integral Calculus. This is your instructor, Engineer Janaika A. Tapiator. This particular video will cover the third topic of your module number 1, which is your analytical geometry. So in the previous videos, we already covered the review of your algebra, the review of your trigonometry, and today it's the review of your analytical geometry. And then to recall, the TLO of this particular module is that you should be able then to review the prerequisite topics on your calculus. So these are the contents of this particular topic. Of course, you have your introduction followed by your Cartesian coordinate system, the distance formula, your circle, and of course your lines. So as an introduction, it says here, analytical geometry, also called your coordinate geometry, is actually a mathematical subject in which algebraic symbolism and methods are used to represent and solve problems in geometry. The importance of analytic geometry is that it establishes a correspondence between your geometric curves and of course your algebraic equation. So nagkakaroon siya, or siya yung dahilan kung ba't nagkakaroon ng link ang algebra and algebraic equations and of course your curves. This correspondence makes it possible to reformulate problems in geometry as equivalent problems in algebra. So, kumbaga yung mga problems natin sa geometry, we could actually solve it in terms of algebra and vice versa. The methods of either subject can be used to solve problems in the other. For example, computers create animations for display in games and films by manipulating algebraic equations. So next is your Cartesian coordinate system. Your Cartesian coordinate system is, I think you commonly refer to this as your Cartesian plane. So you are already familiar with this. You have, of course, your horizontal line, which you know as your x-axis, and of course your vertical line, which you know as your y-axis. And you have your O there, your point O, which is denoted by the capital letter O, which stands for your origin. And of course, nadidivide siya into your 4 quadrants. We term as your quadrant 1, 2, 3, and quadrant 4. And any point in a plane can be identified with ordered pairs of real numbers. So for example, you have your point P here, 'di ba? Yung point P, alam mo na, meron siyang x coordinate, which is, for example, in this case, your A. Kaya siya nandun. And of course, your y ordinate, which you know, which we can refer to as your B. So, yan lang din yung sinabi ko kanina. Any point P on a plane can be located by a unique number of ordered pairs by drawing lines through P perpendicular to your x and y axis. So, ito lang din yung explain ko kanina na paano mo ma-identify si point P. It's simply AB, or that's your x coordinate and your y coordinate. So, kung ano yung point na yun po yung x, and kung ano yung point na yun po yung y. So, kunyari na lang is, for simplicity, we term it as a variable, as your variables a and b. So, again, yung point A dito, we term it as your x coordinate, and your point B, we term it as your y coordinate. So, let's have an example. So, paano po ba tayo nag-sketch ng mga regions sa Cartesian coordinate system or your Cartesian plane following the conditions that were given. So you have your condition A, B, and C. So paano natin i-graph yan or i-sketch sa ating Cartesian coordinate system? So of course, diba, ito na yung sagot, but let me explain why. So it says here, condition A, you have the ordered pair X and Y, such that yung condition mo is X is greater than or equal to 0. So yan po yun. X is greater than or equal to 0. So asan ba yung X system mo? Diba nandito lang naman siya, yung itong line na to. So ibig sabihin, sabi niya X is equal to or greater than 0. So, lahat daw ng values ng X such that your X is greater than or equal to 0. So, kaya siya shaded region kasi ibig sabihin any point there will actually conform to your given condition. So, lahat po dito, any point or ordered pair here of X and Y will satisfy your first condition. So, kaya yan po yung sagot sa letter A. So, let's go to your letter B. So, ano ba yung condition ni letter B? Your ordered pair XY such that your Y is equal to 1. So, yun lang yung condition niya. So, saan ba yung Y equal to 1? If this is your origin, then that is your Y equal to 1. So, very specific siya na Y is equal to 1. Hindi pwedeng umakyat, hindi pwedeng bumaba. Aandun lang siya sa point na yan. So, Y is equal to 1. So, ibig sabihin, any points here, nagko-conform siya dun sa ating condition. Mali pa nga to eh. Dapat meron pang arrow dyan. Kasi continuous yung arrow na yan, as long as Y is equal to 1, nagko-conform siya sa condition B. Then lastly, your condition C, your ordered pair XY such that the absolute value of your Y is less than 1. So, solve muna natin si Y. Pag absolute value of Y is equal to or rather is less than 1, ibig sabihin, ang Y mo is less than positive and negative 1. So, ibig sabihin, pag Y is less than and positive 1, so of course, hanapin muna natin si Y is equal to 1. So, yan yun. And then, Y is equal to negative 1. And since the condition is less, so this is the shaded region. Shaded yung region niya. So, dahil po ang ating condition is less than 1, that's the reason why you see broken lines here. Kasi when you see broken lines, ibig sabihin, it's supposed to be less than that particular value. Kaya po broken lines. Pag wala kayong nakitang line or minsan solid line, equal siya. Or in this case, greater than within that particular region. Pero pag may nakita na po kayong shaded region, ibig sabihin it's supposed to be less than that particular value. Okay? So let's go to the third topic of this video, your distance formula. Recall from algebra that the distance between points A and B on a number line is A minus B is equal to B minus A. So, obvious naman, pinagbaliktad lang. Thus, the distance between points P1, in this case, ito siya, P1 having the ordered pair X1 and Y1, and P3, ito, having the ordered pair X2 and Y1 on a horizontal line must be the value of x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, di ba, kukunin mo lang po yung distance na ito. So, yan. Kasi yan po yung distance nila. Tapos, kung gusto mo din namang kunin yung distance between P2 and P3, ito na yun. Ito yung distance na yun. Y2 minus Y1. Now, the question is, what if you wanna get the distance of your P1 to that of your P2? Etong distance na to. Anong gagawin pag gusto mo makuha tong distance na ito? Let's term that, which is in this case, since the 3 points actually create a right triangle, this is your hypotenuse, diba? hypotenuse. So to find the distance between your points 1, your P1 and P2, we actually can use your Pythagorean theorem, which is the distance between P1 and P2 is simply the square root of the sum of the distances of your P1 and P3 squared plus your P2 and P3 squared. Or, kung isa-substitute natin yung mga x values natin dyan, you will get this particular equation or this. So, meaning, to get the distance of your P1, P2, you simply square the sum of your x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So let's have an example. You are to find the distance between 1 and negative 2 and 5 and 3. So of course, diba, this is the equation that we have. We simply substitute. Diba, ito si x1, x sub 1, y sub 1. And this is your x sub 2, y sub 2. So, isa-substitute lang natin yung values. You will get 5 minus 1 squared plus the quantity 3 minus a negative 2, the quantity squared. Or, simplifying it, you have the square root of 4 squared plus 5 squared, or the answer is square root of 41. So, that's the distance between these particular points. So let's go to the fourth topic, your circles. An equation of a curve is an equation satisfied by the coordinates of the points on the curve and by no other points. So we will be using the distance formula to find the equation of a circle having the radius r and the center, which we'll define as C, having the coordinates h, k. So by definition, the circle is the set of all points P having the coordinates x and y. So any point there, we can define it as P having the coordinates x, y, whose distance from the center C having the coordinates hk is your radius r. So kahit naman anong point yung kunin natin dyan, we know that yung radius is hindi magbabago. Thus, P is on the circle if and only if the distance between your P and C is equivalent to your radius r. And from the distance formula, we have the equation of the circle. So, di ba, papalitan lang naman natin yung ating distance formula. Ang hinahanap natin doon is yung r, and of course, that will be x minus h. Ito si si x1 mo, papalitan lang natin, plus y minus k. Ito si y1 mo. Then you square the sum, or you square each quantity, and then you get the square root. That's your r. Or, for simplicity, we could just simply square the both sides, giving us this particular equation. Ito medyo familiar kayo dito kasi ito lang naman yung usually na equation ng circle. So, an equation of a circle with the center hk and the radius r is that particular formula. Pinapakita lang naman dito sa analytical geometry kung paano talaga nakuha yung mga equations na yun. Although you are already familiar with this particular equation, siguro dati lang, siguro open yung index cards nyo before, kaya hindi nyo na siya, or very familiar lang siya, although hindi nyo na memorize. So in particular, if the center is the origin, so that will be h is equal to 0, k is equal to 0, masisimplify po yung formula into this. So let's have an example. Sketch the graph of the equation x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 6y plus 7 is equal to 0 by first showing that it represents a circle and then finding its center and radius. So ito po yung equation. the very first thing that we do is we group the x terms and y terms as follows. So, pinagsama lang po natin yung x terms and then yung y terms. And the constant, we just transposed it to the other side. X squared plus 6x plus y squared minus 6y minus 7 is equal to negative 7. Then, we complete the squares within each grouping, adding the appropriate constants or the squares of the half coefficients of x and y to both sides of the equation. So, ibig sabihin, di ba para ma-complete natin yung square, we simply get the coefficient of your x, in this case is 2, tapos we divide that by 2, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then we square 1, 1 squared is 1. So, yan po yung kanyang completion ng kanyang square. So, yan po yung constant na i-add mo dyan. Then, we do the same thing to the y terms. So, what is the coefficient of y? In this case, we have negative 6. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. And then, we square negative 3, we get positive 9. So, that's how you complete the squares of the equation. Since we added positive 1 and positive 9 to the left side of the equation, we do the same thing to the right side. So that will be negative 7 plus 1 plus 9 po ito. So sorry for the error there. So that will be plus 9. Then of course, simplifying it further, you will get x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 3. So, kung titingnan nyo, pwede na siyang mag-conform dun sa ating equation wherein you have, di ba, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So, antayin lang natin siyang mag-conform dyan. So, ibig sabihin, yung h mo dito is negative 1. Yung k mo dito is positive 3. And of course, yung r mo dito is square root of 3. Diba? So, yan na po yung mga unknowns natin. So, there. Comparing this equation to the standard equation of a circle, we see that your h is negative 1, k is positive 3, and r is negative 3. So, ibig sabihin yung center ng equation natin is nasa negative 1 and 3. And of course, yung radius natin is negative or square root of 3. And if we graph that, ganito po yung magiging itsura ng circle. So, let's go to the last topic. You have your lines. So, to find the equation of a line L, we use its slope, which is simply a measure of the steepness of the line. So, when we say the slope of a non-vertical line passes through your points 1 and point 2, then the slope, which is denoted by your small letter m, is simply the change in y all over the change in x. So, yan po yung way kung paano natin makukuha yung slope ng inyong equation. So, yan. In-explain niya lang further. Thus, the slope of a line is simply the ratio of the change in y all over the change in x. So, kasi di ba pag titignan mo, kung this is the change in x, di ba, ito, x2 minus x1 or your delta x, or that's the run. And then this is your rise, di ba? Delta y is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Then the slope is simply the rise over the run. So kunyari, di ba? We have this P1. Yan, given kanya. Paano natin makukuha yung equation of the particular line? So let's assume na, syempre, di ba, yung any point except your P1, kunyari xy siya. So, kunyari yan is point xy, ito is point xy, or ito is point xy, hindi naman po nagbabago yung slope niyan. The rise over the run is still the same. Any point here, of course, except your P1. So, paano po natin siya gagawan ng equation? So, di ba? Any point, P of xy, and then you are given a single point, P1, which has the coordinates x1, y1. So, parang ito yung y2 nyo. So, that will simply be equal to y minus y1 is equal to x minus x sub 1 is equal to n. Or kung i-rearrange natin yung equation, diba, i-cross multiply natin, magiging y minus y1 is equal to m multiplied by x minus x sub 1. So, yeah. So, very familiar kayo with this particular equations since that particular equation is what we call your point slope form. If you are given the point and you can get the slope, then you can get the equation of the line. Point slope form. So, let's have an example. So, if we want to find an equation of the line that passes through the points negative 1, 2, and 3, negative 4, then using the point slope form, we first get the slope, which is in this case, di ba yan yung x1 mo, y1, and this is your x2, y2. So, yeah. So, you have negative 4 minus 2 all over 3 minus a negative 1 will give you a slope equivalent to negative 3 halves. And using the point slope form, x is equal to negative 1 and y is equal to 2, we obtain, diba? Yung point slope form, again, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. So, substitute lang natin y minus 2, kasi yun yung y1 mo, is equal to the slope, which we obtain as your negative 3 halves, multiplied by x minus x sub 1, which is in this case negative 1, kaya naging positive 1 siya. Which we can then simplify to 3x plus 2y is equal to 1. So, paano nangyari yan? Si negative 2, transpose sa kabila. So, gawin ko na lang para makita nyo. So, y then is equal to negative 3 halves. I-distribute ko na po si x minus 3 halves plus 2. Or, wait lang. Bahin natin. Paano ba ito i-erase? Erase. Mas madali pala kung i-cross multiply muna natin. Okay. So, we cross multiply 2 doon sa side of the equation. So, you have 2y minus 4. Bakit may equal dyan? Tanggalin natin. 2y minus 4 is equal to negative 3x minus 3. Diba? Tapos, giging ganito na siya. Diba? 3x, i-transpose natin si 3x sa kabila, plus 2y. And then you have, tatranspose mo sa kabila, 4 minus 3, equivalent to 1. So, na-simplify na po yung equation. Now, di ba meron na kanina is yung point slope form. What if meron na naman po tayong isa pang way kung paano natin makukuha yung equation of the line, which we term as your slope-intercept form. So, when we say slope-intercept form, we are referring to the slope and then the y-intercept of the line, which in this case we term as your B, point B, or that particular point that crosses your y-axis. So, kunyari, at the point 0, B, diba? 0, your x is equal to 0, your y is equal to b, then, yung point slope form kanina, magiging point intercept form, ganito na siya. So, y minus y1, which is in this case your b, is equal to m multiplied by x minus x1, which is in this case 0. So, ganyan siya. Or, if you want to simplify that equation further, you have what we call your slope-intercept form, or that's, you are familiar with this, your y is equal to mx plus b. In particular, if a line is horizontal, so kunyari yan yun, its slope is 0. Diba wala namang rise over run yan. So the equation is simply y is equal to b, kung ano man po yung y-intercept. A vertical line, di ba, ito, wala siyang slope, since 0 over 0 is undefined, but we can write its equation as x is equal to a. Kasi ito lang naman yung point dyan, x is equal to a. Where a is we term as your x-intercept because the x-coordinate of every point on the line is a. So let's have an example. Graph the inequality x plus 2y greater than 5. So paano kaya natin i-graph ito? So we are asked to sketch the graph of the set of the ordered pair of your x and y such that x plus 2y is less than, or rather is greater than 5. And we begin by solving the inequality for your y. So how do we solve for the inequality of your y? So, syempre, solve natin si y. Diba? X plus 2y is greater than 5. Si 2y, or rather si x, sorry, let me just erase that. Kasi si y yung isa-solve natin. So, si x, itatranspose natin sa kabila, giving you this particular equation. 2y is greater than negative x plus 5. And then, we divide both sides by 2. You will get this value. Y is greater than negative 1/2 x plus 5/2. So, what can you see if once we solved this particular inequality? Diba parang nag-conform na siya dun sa slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b. Wherein, yung slope mo is negative 1/2, and then your x-intercept, or rather your y-intercept is 5/2. So, kung alam mo na si slope, alam mo na si y-intercept, you could actually solve for your x para graph natin siya. So, how would you solve for x? Iset mo lang si y is equal to 0. So, if x is equal to 0, or rather if y, sorry, so if y is equal to 0, then you will get the value of x. 0 is less than negative 1/2 of x plus 5/2, tapos itatranspose sa kabila, ito, then you will get a value of x around equal to 5/2, itatranspose mo sa kabila, 2.5 times 2, you get 5. Value of x is equal to 5. Such that, burahin ko na yun. The equation shows that the slope is negative 1/2 and y-intercept is 5/2. And then you can now graph the line, or the equation rather. So again, yung x o y-intercept mo is 2.5, your x-intercept is 5. You could just draw a broken line between those 2 points kasi nga 'di ba, greater than yung symbol na nakita natin, greater than, and then you shade the portion above such that this particular graph shows the equation y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 5/2. So, ganun lang naman po mag-graph. Again, this is just to recall your analytical geometry. So that's it for this particular video. The next topic that we will be covering is about your module number 2, the start of your calculus. So don't forget to click and subscribe for you to be updated for the next videos that I will be uploading in YouTube, just in case that you would want to do advanced reading or advanced study of the topics. So I hope you enjoyed module number 1 and keep posted for the videos of your module number 2. So class, please stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. Goodbye everyone.